It's very interesting to understand how this universe flows through us. There is a deep seated connection, and that connection has a pipeline. Just like how we see an analogy of having a valve and then a pipeline and a tap, and the correlation between that. So, there is a river of light flowing through all of us, and that light carries a very charged particle, it is called a photon, and this photonic energy is passing through all of us, whether we believe it or like it, it is still happening. So, this energy which is flowing through all of us is flowing through a network which is intricate, and that is called meridians, and that meridians, the original word is called Nadi. And the interesting aspect of understanding this, if Nadi is flowing, it is like a river, and that is Nadi. So, the very understanding is how we could correlate with this in our journey. If we are flowing and the flow is continuous, so where did we experience the journey as a river, and the river is flying up, flowing up and merging with the ocean of light, ocean of bliss. So, that means the original nature of this Nadi was to allow us to experience the highest possible bliss, which is Anandamaya. So, the very purpose of this Nadi is to help us realize that we are connected to a supreme source, and the source penetrates through all of us, whether we like it or not, it is there. So, how we can experience that level of clarity? So, how do we go to that knowing of clarification of, first you can take this, the principal Nadi within us is called the Sushumna. Sushu, which is deep sleep state, which is Sushupti, and Mana is mind. So, what is mind? There is a clarification of what mind is an instrument that allows us to experience the universe within and outside through a mechanism, through an instrumentation. So, the whole, where is mind? It is everywhere. So, the Nadi or Nadi within us allows us to experience the universal mind through a process of flow. And this flow, for instance, the sun is passing through us. How do we encapture that force within us? It's through a process of fusion of energies within us, through a process of coming together of energies within us. So, Nadis allow us to experience that flow. The Sushumna is a centralized column within us. It is like a pillar energy which is there in the right in the spine, and that spinal energy is so strong that it can allow us to connect very, very deeply to the highest knowing, which is the connection to the sun energy. So, Sushumna energy. So, imagine this, you have a pipe like this, which is a bigger circumference, and inside that there is one more Nadi, which is called the first Nadi is the Sushumna, inside it there is the Vajrani, inside that is Chitrini, smaller dimension, and then the smallest of all is the Brahmini Nadi. So, the four concentric, one pipeline inside another. So, what happens is the subtlest of all is Brahmini, which enables you to access the knowing, it means called a Gnani. So, Gnani is one who has realized the state of knowing that he is no longer the body, is no longer the thinking process, but is one with the source, Brahmini. That means, if energy of the Kundalini force passes through this Brahmini, you are realized master. So, if it passes through Chitrini, you become a yogi. That means you are able to connect. What is Chitra? Chitra means visual. So, this you can see this whole body as a river of light. That is what a yogi sees. He sees all the meridian lines, he sees the, when you say he, it is not just he, it is the magnetism of the witness, it is called Pramatrin. So, you can see the flow of the instrument as is, and that is what a yogi sees, and not as coloration, but as reception. So, Chitrini allows you to receive as is, Chitrini, the actual visual image as is and not colored. And then there is Vajrani, the strength, the power. Vajra means diamond. So, the Vajrani Nadi enables, it is the longest Nadi in our body, right from the tip of the toe all the way up to here, it is the longest serving Nadi. Why is this Nadi required? Do we have a system which can enable us to experience the body as one? That is Vajrani. Imagine this whole body can become like a huge pillar of light, and that Vajrani makes it happen. If the Vajrani is active from the tip of the toe, the big toe, it channels down the spleen line all the way into this point. So, Vajrani enables us to know that it is possible to access the purest source within us as a pillar. We are all standing pillars of light, and Vajrani enables that. And then the broadest aspect is Sushumna, which is enabling us to get into the subtle knowing. So, there is the two nadis next to it, which is entwined like a DNA structure. Okay. Now, these nadis, Ida, Pingala, which is the sun and moon channels. Okay. So, there is a base on the color of it, the red and blue color. Okay. So, now what happens is, if the energy is passing through these two nadis equally balanced way through process of samatva, that means if you channelize the swashakosa, the energy of the force that is gathered through breathing enables the prana to be absorbed joyfully, balanced in the pit of the belly, goes into the Sushumna Dwara, the cap opens. There is usually sealed. The mouth of this Muladhara is usually sealed in an average person because he does not want to do anything about it. What if the person wants to awaken? There is an aspiration, and first the process will be either through a grace that the automatic activation happens through a power of creative intelligence, or by sadhana through a process of kriya, marga. You enable this samatva to happen. The balanced force of the left and right channels, the sun and moon channels, will open the dwara, Sushumna Dwara, the gap at the bottom, and unlock the three major locks, which is the Rudra Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, okay, Brahma Granthi. Actually, if it is in reverse order, if you can look at it, this is the Rudra Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Brahma Granthi, and there are three locks which is enabling the connection to the, this is Swayambhulinga, Banalinga, Itaralinga. That means three locks, three knots, and this will help you to unlock this. So, the process of real yogic awareness is to how to unlock the spine and move into a state of flow, and that is what these nadis can do. There are several nadis which we are going to talk about. There are people say there are 72,000 nadis, but there are much more than that. But how many of them are really useful in our yogic journey, which is what we are going to discuss about, because we can spend lifetimes trying to understand nadis.